Shalom, shalom. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And this is the brother Shabai from GMS Denver. And I'm going to read Jeremiah 16, starting at the top. It says, "The word of Yahawah came also unto me, saying, Thou shalt not take thee a wife, neither shalt thou have sons or daughters in this place." So this is talking about ancient Babylon. And, our elders, they tell us the same thing, Same spirit of Yahawah Bashem Yahushai. Really, it's not it's not the most wise thing to do right now is to take a wife or have kids, have sons and daughters in this place. This place is all corrupt, for one. For two, we're at the times of prophecy where everything's picking up. You see, you see right now in the news, Donald J. Trump, he's about to activate that Insurrection Act. Chaos is going to be in all these cities. It's really not a time to do this, right? Verse 3, "For thus saith Yahawah concerning the sons and concerning the daughters that are born in this place, and concerning their mothers that bear them, and concerning their fathers that begat them in this land. They shall die of grievous deaths, they shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried, but they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth, and they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and the beasts of the earth." Okay, and it's the same thing here in this day and age, Our families, a lot of our families are going to be put to death. A lot of our family members, especially if they haven't repented, especially if they're not in the fold of Yahawah Bashem Yahushai. They haven't taken on that spirit. They're in for great tribulation. They're in for death by pain. See, and you have a lot of the, just because they're our family, it doesn't mean that they're going to be, receiving salvation. It doesn't mean they're going to believe in this ministry, believe in this truth. It says, and you read verse 4, tells you they're going to die grievous deaths. And this is talking about ancient Babylon, but, it's twofold, because this stuff is going to happen in spiritual Babylon, in the daughter of Babylon, right? That's what I meant, daughter of Babylon, Babylon the Great, America. It says in verse 5, "For thus saith Yahawah, enter not into the house of mourning, neither go to lament, nor bemoan them. For I have taken away my peace from this people, saith Yahawah, even loving kindness and mercies." And this still extends to this day, because you have the 2/3, they don't believe in Yahushai. It was Yahushai, the sacrifice he did for the elect, that which took the elect out of this fate of, with no hope, basically. But you have a lot of our people in this day and age, they don't believe in Yahawah Bashem Yahushai, right? They're calling, see, the phone had a chime on that. They're calling on different gods, different, doctrines, different philosophies, so on and so forth. All right, it says, "Both the great and the small shall die in this land. They shall not be buried, neither shall men lament for them, nor cut themselves, nor make themselves bald for them. Neither shall men," and that's a custom that we would do as Israelites, right? throwing dust on our heads, in a time of mourning, renting our garments, making yourself bald, throwing dust on the top of your head. These were all customs, but this is showing you that, this is not going to happen. There's not going to be a time for mourning for these people, because it's going to be so grievous, so intense. You're not going to have time to mourn. You're going to have to just move on from all the atrocities that are about to come forth here in Babylon, America. You're going to witness a lot of death, right? Jacob's trouble, a time of trouble that there's never been, right? Tells you in Daniel 12:1 that it's going to be so bad, so much trouble for the Israelites, that's why Michael the archangel and Yahawah and the angels are going to have to, stand up for us, right? And that's only going to be for the elect. Verse 7, neither shall men tear themselves for them in mourning. See? To comfort them for the dead, neither shall men give them the cup of consolation to drink for their father or for their mother. Thou shalt not also go into the house of feasting to sit with them to eat and to drink. And really, basically just we don't want to affiliate with these 2/3, with these wicked spirits of our own people, that they don't want to repent. They don't want to put on the right garment. They don't want to come into the spirit of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. You really shouldn't be associating with the 2/3. You at work and shit, you got to deal with them, but minimize that for sure, man. Like, what we're in such dark times that's approaching fastly, hastily. It would it would benefit you to minimize your time with the 2/3. For thus saith Yahawah of hosts, the Most High of Israel, behold, I will cause to cease out of this place in your eyes and in your days the voice of mirth and the voice of gladness and the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride. Right, we're coming into this Jacob's trouble. You're not going to have a lot of mirth in the land, right? You're not going to have gladness. You're going to have death, famine, destruction, despair, helplessness, hopelessness, Once these devils unleash their agenda in full force, which has to do with, their military out in the streets, martial law, looking for fugitives, which in that day, if you don't have their digital device the size of a grain of rice in your hand or in your forehead, and you're gonna be a fugitive in their eyes. You're gonna be an outlaw in their eyes, and it's gonna cause all kinds of chaos and stress and death. It's gonna be crazy. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt show this people all these words, and they shall say unto thee, wherefore hath Yahawah pronounced all this great evil against us? Or what is our iniquity? Or what is our sin that we have committed against Yahawah our power? And they're so ignorant, they don't even say Yahawah, right? They'll call him every other name under the sun, but the true names Yahawah or Yahawah. That's how evil our people are. And they're sitting here, in this mindset where they're like, oh, well, I've been a Christian, or I've been a good person. But they don't know what it is to be a good person according to Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. Their idea of a good person is totally different, than the true, obedience that comes with, learning the true ways of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai and what's actually righteous versus what's wicked. Because they think, oh, we went and fed the homeless downtown. They think that's righteous thing. They were a good person, Oh, I helped an Edomite. I helped an old Edomite cross the street the other day. No, man, you don't even know who your enemy is, you see? So how can you know the ways of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai? Verse 11, Then shalt thou say unto them, Because your fathers have forsaken me, saith Yahawah, and have walked after other gods, and have served them, and have worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not kept my law. And our people don't keep the laws here. The majority of our people, they don't even understand the laws of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. They can't even name the 10 Commandments, right? Which we know in the Spirit. There's way more than 10 Commandments. And our people, they don't have no clue when it comes to the law or the ways of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. You see? And ye have done worse than your fathers, for behold, ye walk every one after the imagination of his evil heart, and they may not hearken unto me. Therefore will I cast you out of this land into a land that ye know not, neither ye nor your fathers, and ye shall serve other gods day and night, where I will not show you favor. And that's, the time we're in. Our people have casted and been driven into all these other nations, these other countries, coming up, raised up in different, nations, taught different doctrines, philosophies, serving gods that our fathers never knew, But they're so in such slumber and darkness that they don't even realize it, you see. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahawah, that I shall be no more said, Yahawah liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. And our people, they don't even consider that. First of all, it tells you that they don't even consider who they are, right? Jeremiah 1:5. Right, the ox knoweth his owner, the ass his master crib, but my people doth not consider. So they don't even know who they are. They don't know. They don't even. The majority of our people don't even realize that they are the Israelites, that they are the ones who came up out of the land of Egypt. So we're living in this time. This prophecy is fulfilled. Has already been fulfilled. Let me read that again. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahawah, that it shall be no more be said, Yahawah liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But Yahawah liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. And this is going towards the prophecies, us gathering together by the Holy Spirit. The men of the Lord are Yahawah is using his men to gather the elect by the Holy Spirit, which is this ministry. Verse 16, behold, I will send for many fishers, saith Yahawah, and they shall fish them. And that's the prophets out on the street corners, fishing for the elect, right? And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. Okay? And this is going into our spiritual power that the Lord is going to bestow upon his sincere servants, upon his true prophets. They're going to have spiritual powers, which we're going to hunt down the wicked, hunt down the wicked elite, and so on and so forth. Hunters. Right now we're fishers, fishing for the elect, but there's going to be a time when he's going to put that spirit of vengeance on us, where we're going to be hunters. Okay? We're going to have spiritual power. That's going to enable us to, fulfill the prophecies and do what's necessary to usher in the kingdom of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. It says, verse 17, for mine eyes are upon all their ways, they are not hid from my face, neither is there iniquity hid from mine eyes. Right? And that's that Proverbs, is it 1:15 maybe? No, Proverbs 15. 3. The eyes of Yahawah are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. Beholding means observing. So the eyes of Yahawah are in every place, observing the evil and the good, okay? So therefore, your iniquity is not hid from the eyes of Yahawah, okay? And first I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double, because they have defiled my land. They have filled mine inheritance with the carcasses of their detestable and abominable things. And this is going way back when the Israelites were doing all kind of wickedness, in the land of Jerusalem. All right, Slakia. Verse 19. O Yahawah, my strength and my fortress and my refuge, in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, Surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity in things wherein there is no profit. All right? And this is talking about the Gentiles of Israel, okay? Because our fathers, have definitely inherited lies. It's the elect that are coming into the spirit of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai and understanding the truth, right? He set up his prophets to feed you with knowledge and understanding, as it tells you in Jeremiah 3:15. And now, you have the truth is, like it tells you in Deuteronomy 32:2, my doctrine shall drop like the rain. You have the truth being implemented all over the planet Earth. Enabled, we're like it tells you in the New Testament that we are breaking strongholds, right? All those lies that our fathers have inherited, they're being exposed by the true men of the Lord. Okay, and it's the spirit of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai who is moving us to expose, and like it tells you in 2 Thessalonians, that he exposes. Well, let's grab it real quick. Let's see. Okay, verse 8, 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. All right. So this is us. Yahawah is using his mouth, which are his prophets, to reveal the wicked, reveal the truth. It says here, verse 20, shall a man make gods unto himself, and they are no gods? Therefore, behold, I will this once cause them to know. I will cause them to know mine hand and mine might, and they shall know that my name is Yahawah. Okay? So that's what you got to understand. That the whole reason for all these prophecies to be coming to pass is because the Most High Yahawah he's going to be reestablished. His name is going to be reestablished on the planet Earth. Okay? When we came out of Egypt, everybody recognized who Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai was. You didn't have people sitting there debating or calling him outside of his name. None of that. People knew because of the great deliverance out of Egypt. And so this time around, there's going to be an even greater deliverance, which is going to cause that first deliverance out of Egypt. We're not even going to talk about that, because this next deliverance that's going to come out of spiritual Egypt, America, this is going to magnify the names of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. All right? So It says, I'm going to cause them to know mine hand and mine might. These are people, maybe they blow off the truth. They have no reverence for Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. But in that day, they're gonna know the names. They're gonna know who delivered the elect. They're gonna know who the true powers are, which is Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. The two most powerful entities in the universe are going to be known. Okay? And it's going to be known by pain for the majority of our people, because our people stay in darkness. They stay in, they're stuck on stupid. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? Right? Like it tells you in, what is that, Psalms 1? I don't know, 20, maybe? Maybe it's Proverbs. Yeah, it's Proverbs. But that's what it is, man. Our people are not going to be simple. They're going to be put to death. Then they're going to be raised up in the kingdom, knowing the true names, knowing the true powers, which is Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. And they're going to be established, our people, I'm talking about the Israelites, they're going to be established in righteousness. Proverbs 1:20, wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Okay? So, the beginning of this knowledge, well, the first thing of wisdom is having fear toward Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. But you have to know his name, and you have to know his son's name. All right? And like I say, those names are going to be magnified by all of this stress and Jacob's trouble, and ultimately the destruction of this place. Everybody on the planet Earth is going to know the names of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. They're going to know who's in charge, okay? So, just wanted to get that lesson in. I hope it was edifying for the elect's sake. And so with that, I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai B'Shem Ka Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom to the elect. Shalom.